y'all. If you already subscribed, welcome back, my darling. And if you have not yet subscribed, you're gonna wanna subscribe because this is the very first Morgan Shaylloween video where we are doing 5 easy makeup tutorials that you can do with any type of, on the go, like Halloween costume. And starting out with one that I had requested 16 times between different social medias. This is the one that you all mentioned the most, and this is Malibu Barbie. So we have a glitter on the eyes. We have our white baby doll lips. We contoured to be a little bit more Barbie-esque. I like it. This was the only bathing suit cover that I could find that was Malibu Barbie-like. So yeah, Malibu Barbie. So the one that came to my inbox the most was just Barbie. So here you go. Here is a Barbie look. If you want to know how to get this Barbie inspired tutorial, then please do keep on watching. Also, all of my social medias are linked down below in the description box, as well as all the makeup that is used in this tutorial, of course, duh. If there is anything that you would like me to do, I'm going to be doing this for the next 5 Fridays. So Beauty and Documentary Breakdown is on hold right now as we do Morgan Shaylloween. So if there is a tutorial that you want, please let me know. No politics, I do not care. The thing that actually won on my Instagram, I'm not doing politics. Nay. I told you guys on Instagram, I'm not doing politics. So anything but politics, I will do for you guys. So yeah, follow me on social media below to let me know who you want me to do next Friday. But yeah, you guys, without further ado, welcome to episode 1 of Morgan Shaylloween. We're gonna tell a little ghost story, and we're going to do this look right here for a Malibu Barbie. So if you wanna know how we got it, just keep on. I think I'm just gonna go in with the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Facial and just put this all over my skin because #dry over here, so. But this story starts probably about 10 years ago. And it was me and one of my horrible roommates that I lived with at the time. And we were sitting in the living room, and I know that it was right before Easter. I know that. It was after Valentine's Day, before Easter, somewhere in that area. We're sitting there watching TV. It's probably like 11 o'clock at night. And we hear a knock at our front door, and we're like, well, that's weird. Who the hell could that be? So my roommate at the time goes to the door and looks through the peephole, and she says, Morgan, there's nobody at the door. I'm like, what in the actual hell? So again, we hear this knock at the door. My roommate at the time goes to the door. She says, Morgan, there's nobody here. I'm like, what the hell? We just don't really think anything of it. We really think that it's probably one of the kids in the neighborhood, like doing, ding dong ditch. If you're not familiar with ding dong ditch, it's basically where kids will go from door to door and literally just ring the doorbell and run. And there were a lot of young kids in this neighborhood, so whatever. Anyways, we just get back to watching the movie, and probably about 5 minutes goes by, and there's a knock at the door again. I'm like, what the hell? So this time I get up because I'm like, if this is a kid, surely there's not been enough time for this kid to run all the way back down the street. So I'm gonna see this kid running down the street. There was no kids outside at all. It was, like I said, guys, 11 o'clock at night. So street lights are on, kids are in school. So the fact of them even being up at this point was weird. You know what I'm saying? So we had already had plenty of paranormal experiences in this house. But still yet, At this point, I'm not thinking anything paranormal. I'm not thinking anything like that. I'm literally thinking, okay, where the hell is this kid at? Because it's got to be a kid. Sit back down on the couch, done a bit more, get the TV off of mute, and I'm like, what in the actual hell? So this is where I go from what the heck to irritated. Me and my roommate at the time, we go ahead and we get up and we go outside with the flashlight. And we're looking all down the streets. We're looking in the bush that's beside our door. We're looking even around the subdivision that was like right around us and our road to see if anybody had any lights on. Because we're like, you know, if it has to be the house where lights are on because everybody else's lights are off. Nobody has their lights on. There's like one house at the end of the road who has their lights on. Anyway, so we call our good friends across the street. We're like, hey, have you had any ding dong ditchers tonight? Or people knocking on your door running away? And we'll call the wife Misty. Misty's like, no, we haven't. So we're like, okay, well, somebody's doing it to our house. We were just wondering, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, maybe a minute or so goes by and Misty calls us back and she's like, ha ha, very funny. We're like, what are you talking about? She's like, you all just come into my house and ding dong ditching. I'm like, no, we really haven't. We're standing in the kitchen at this point on the phone, you guys. I'll never forget it. We're baking a sheet of cookies, okay? We have the cookies, like the cookie log out on the countertop, and I'm slicing the cookies. We have the neighbor across the street, Misty, on the phone. It's on speakerphone. At the very same time, both of us hear Misty's like, they're back at our door. And at this point, my roommate is like, did you hear? I was like, yeah, our door's being knocked out too. Well, apparently our neighbor, Misty, was standing in her living room right beside the door. So she literally yanked it open and nobody was there. And she said nobody was across the street at our door. So at this point, of course, we're freaked out because all of us at this point know all about the property that the townhouses are built on and all of the legends that, you know, come with that piece of property. And so we're all like, okay, this is paranormal. So it kind of was like a sense of relief, honestly. Like, oh, okay, it's just paranormal. Like there was an answer to it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, the night goes on. We end up baking our cookies, eating our cookies. We're sitting there, we're watching our movie and just hanging out. And it's probably at this point, maybe around 2 to 2:30 in the morning. At this point, and this would happen all of the time. I'll have the video, again, you guys, linked up in the cards, but we had a spirit in our apartment that loved to slam doors. That's what they like to do, was to slam doors. And so we're like, and remember you guys, this is quite a bit after we had been living there. So I was more familiar than my roommate because my roommate hadn't been living with me long. So I was way more familiar with her, with the spirits that were in the townhouse. And so when I heard in our dining room, we had like a little, not a pantry, but it was like a closet, basically, like a little bitty closet. But in there was literally only a water heater. That was it. There was nothing else that was ever kept in this closet. We didn't store anything in this closet. This closet was never opened, ever, not once, the whole time I lived there, unless it got slammed, because we would always check it. So my roommate like jumps when she hears the door slam, and I don't know if like I had gotten like immune to like the door slamming at this point, but I didn't jump. So when I didn't jump, she was like, why didn't you jump? Are you messing with me? I'm like, girl, I'm sitting right here next to you. Like, how in the hell could I be messing with you right now? You're sitting right next to me. Like, there's no way that either one of us could mess with the other at this point. Like, what do you mean? So she's getting really, really freaked out. And so I tell her, you know, well, I told you that there's spirits in here and that they like to slam the doors. I said, this one down here in the dining room gets slammed all the time. It gets slammed more than any other door. This one does, before any other one. So she insists on looking in the, like, closet water heater room door. That's what we'll call it, water heater room door. And I'm like, girl, there's nothing in there. There's no force of air that blow, like, the door literally opens on its own and closes on its own. And it's not like a close, it's like a slam. She opens it up, looks in there, there's nothing in there. It's just literally a water heater. Closes it up, and she's like, okay, well, you know, you're here, so I'm not really freaked out. So I would say probably an hour later, our neighbor across the street, Misty, comes over and knocks on our door, and she's like, I'm sorry, you guys, that I'm waking you all up, but I had to. She said, I just got, you know, completely scared the wits out of me. And I would say that my roommate was very freaked out at this point, like extremely freaked out. Me, on the other hand, I was not. I was used to it at this point. As weird as that sounds, I was very much used to it. So I'm just like, whatever. She's like, so I was sitting in the living room, and she's married, and she was saying that her husband was already in bed, of course, because he had to get up early the next morning for work. And all of a sudden, she said, the door that's in our, this is so creepy, the door that's in our dining room just slammed, and she said nothing's in there but that water heater. And me and my roommate just kind of looked at each other like, what the hell, you know, because this had never happened before. Like a night where both of us are, like, ourselves and the neighbors are getting messed with at the same time. This had never happened. So we all end up going to bed. All of us, I would say, were probably very much terrified this in particular night. Like, it was not a night where sleeping came easy, if that makes sense. So the next morning comes, and when the next morning comes, there was a little lady who lived on our street. She was such a sweetheart. I loved her. She was outside on her porch literally every morning. I don't think I ever, like, went to leave a morning and this little old lady was not on her porch. Like, she was always out there in the mornings drinking her coffee and just watching the kids, like, walk to the bus stop, whatever. So she's out on her porch, and the way that these townhouses were built up, there was like probably 6 or 7 townhouses in a row, and then across the street were 2 like duplexes. So there was duplexes on the front, and then the downstairs of these houses were duplexes as well. So she's probably 2 buildings. I believe she was 2 buildings. No, she was the next building down from us. And I say, you know, we'll call her Miss Wilson. I'm like, good morning, Miss Wilson, you know, how are you, da-da-da. She's like, well, them damn ghosts kept me up all night. And I was like, oh, really? They did us too, you know. She said, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. She said they were knocking on my damn door all night long and slamming my doors and this and that. And I'm like, oh, my goodness gracious. When she said this, you guys, I literally was like, no freaking way. There's no freaking way. And so the very same night, we come home, and me, my roommate, and our neighbors across the street, we would get together probably 2 or 3 times a week and like just cook dinner together, hang out, whatever. But this in particular night, my boyfriend was going to be there as well. My roommate's boyfriend was going to be there. Like, it was going to be like all of us, you know, and our men. So we're telling the guys, because remember, like I said, our neighbor's old man, her husband, was asleep when all this happened. And it would always be that way. It would always be that way. If something like this was happening, our men, you know, up until this point, nobody else had experienced anything other than like females, and it was weird. So this in particular night, we're all just kind of like sitting there, you know, talking about it and telling our men about it, whatever. And my neighbor's husband is like, well, you know, I didn't want to freak you out. He said, but last night, he said, I had a really weird experience. And he starts to tell us, you know, what happened. He said that he felt like somebody was watching him when he slept, which, oh my God, that was literally every single night. We would feel like somebody was watching us when, you know, whatever. Like, I still have a phobia of shower curtains to this day because of me feeling like they were watching me in a shower. Oh, I hate it. Anyways, he said he felt like he was being watched sleep. And he said he felt like if he was to look, like he had his eyes closed, and he said, I felt like if I was to move my head and open my eyes, somebody's face, like there would be a ghost face like right there in my face. He said, so he said, yeah, I'm a grown man. He said, but I was scared. I was scared. And so anyways, we're just talking about it, whatever. We end up hanging out. Literally 11:30 comes around, you guys. And all of a sudden, we are all literally quiet as mice. You could probably hear a pin drop. We are watching a movie. So literally all you can hear is the movie. You know, none of us are making any noise. None of us are talking to one another. It's nothing like that. It's TV noise. That's it. All of a sudden, upstairs in our townhouse, you hear boom, 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 like the loudest bang I've ever heard in my life to this day. I have still to this day not heard anything like fall or anything like that that was as loud as this. You would have thought that somebody slung my bed across the room. Like, it was loud. Like somebody picked up my bed, like the box spring, the mattress, the bed frame, and slung it across the room. That's how loud it was. When I tell you guys that we literally jumped from our skin, when I tell you guys that we literally come out of our bodies and arose, like, that's what, like, we literally, every single one of us, there was not one of us that sat still. I remember my boyfriend at the time jumping up. He was like, what the hell? You know, the guys go upstairs and they're like, oh my God. And they're like, come up here. We go up there, we're like, what? You know what? Freaked out, really. And you guys, nothing had been touched. And I remember telling my boyfriend that I was dating at the time, I was like, if you leave me here tonight, it's over. Like, if you do not stay here with me tonight in this place and you leave me here alone, I am legitimately dumping you, like, for real. So we all lay down. Now, after this happened, first, let me tell you this. After this happened, our neighbors, like, went home. Like, it freaked them out that bad. They went home. We all decided to lay down probably about, I don't know, 1:45 or something like that. At 3:15, we are awoken to the same sound. Same sound. Just this loud ass bang. I can't describe it. I'm gonna do my foundation and everything like that. We'll speed through it. Hey guys, so since we're doing like Malibu Barbie, because I have the brown hair, I want to do contour, and for that I'm going to use the Chanel bronzer. I'm going to use this MSQ brush right here. It's just a little circle like buffering brush, and I'm going to use it up to kind of draw out where I want the bronzer. And we are going to add glitter to this look as well, just because Barbie's always got very exciting eyes, and we definitely need so I'm going to blend out my contour. I'm also going to set my face and all of that. And then once I set my face, I'm gonna bake in underneath my eyes, because we're gonna do like something really fun with the eyes. And then we'll be right back.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working.
Guys, so I just do want to mention, if you are going to be wearing this for like a respectable Halloween party, I'm talking like, you know, small group, I would suggest to set your entire face. So for glitter, I want a really fun one. So I'm going to use the ColourPop glitters, and we would not be doing Malibu Barbie if we didn't do this really pretty pink. So I'm going to take it on a flat synthetic brush. But first, I'm gonna lay down some glitter primer where I want it. So I'm gonna take that glitter glue, glitter primer, whatever you have. And we're just gonna lay that right over top of the white. Okay guys, so now I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do with my glitter. Let's go ahead and get back to the story. So, like I said, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, little after 3 o'clock, we hear it again. Loud ass boom. We jump up, cut the lights on. My boyfriend heads downstairs. My roommate's boyfriend is, you know, tripping as well. He's like, what in the actual hell? You know, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah. You know, our boyfriends were accusing us of like playing a prank on them. And we're like, no, we're not playing a freaking prank on you guys. What the hell? Like, we were scared and jumping too. But I mean, I guess I could get where they were coming from, but still, like, no, we're not playing a prank on you. We were dead asleep. And we heard this loud bang just like you guys did. No, whatever. Anyways, so probably 5 minutes after we cut the lights on, our phones ring. It's the neighbors across the street. Surprise, surprise. And Misty is like, please tell me that you guys did not just hear that bang again. And we're like, oh yes. Yes ma'am, we sure did. And she's like, well, we heard it over here this time. Like, we heard it in our house. So we're like, well, you know, what are we gonna do? You know, like, there's nothing that we can do about it, whatever. We move on. There's a hell of a lot more stories that come from this place. I just figured I would tell one of the small ones, but what was so funny about this in particular night is the next day, my neighbor tells me that the reason that her and her husband like went home as soon as they heard the bang there that night is because her husband pissed his pants. And so we gave him so much grief and so much shit over that after that happened, because he's like this big, tough man, and he pissed his pants after hearing that bang that night. That's what made this big, tough, like, Southern man piss his pants. Yeah. Guys, I am living, breathing, and dying and coming back to life for this glitter. It is very much, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It's fantastic. I'm gonna put glitter in underneath the eyes, so I'm not really gonna worry about, normally I would take a spoolie and scratch that off, but I'm not going to. Again, like I said, we're gonna be doing a whole thing under there as well. So I'm gonna put a little bit more glitter glue on my table. Yes, I put it right on the table. So for bronzer, since we are doing like Malibu Barbie, what we wanna do is we want to bronze up. So I'm going to use the Wonder Beauty Trip for Two palette. I have ordered another one of these, but I also ordered, if you guys do not know, they have the Marc Jacobs Fantastic Bronzer. Oh yes. On sale on Sephora for $34. So you best believe that your girl ordered like 3 shades. I'm so excited. I also have Chris's aunt's wedding on October 17th, which I'm super excited about. So that will be a beautiful bronzer to use for her wedding. Typically I'll use, you know, I've used Marc Jacobs before on a wedding, but typically I do use this one right here. This is just a really beautiful bronzer and it's beautifully photographed. But please, in the comment section below, let me know what really simple, if there's any simple costumes you would like to see, like what type of makeup you could do for it. I am planning on doing like an easy like cat or like Catwoman. We're not gonna be doing like basic ass eyeshadow over here. You all should know me better than that. But yeah, if there's something that you guys want, if there's a different like Barbie you guys want, please let me know. Okay, so because bronzer is so much of Barbie, I am just going to blend out this bronzer just a little bit more lower than I normally would. This is also going to help give you that more like Barbie dimension that we're wanting as well. And we're going to want our cheeks to be, you know, really high up, really close to the nose type deal. Okay, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to blush up, and we're going to use a really bright blush. I think, yeah, for blush, I do believe that I am going to use a MAC blush. This one is in the shade Hushabye. It is so cute, so pretty. And we are really going to rosy those cheeks because we are Barbie, sister. You see how those cheekbones look like that? That's what you want for Barbie. Barbie needs to be very much, yeah, perfect. Perfect! Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the underneath of my eyes. So I'm just gonna take that very same brush that we put the glitter on with. And I'm basically just focusing that glue all the way across the under eye here. And then of course, just give that a moment to get tacky. And then we're gonna go right into the same exact glitter. These glitters are so bomb. Ooh. Now, one of the main ingredients here is going to be the white pencil liner, which you guys know that I use NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil because it is imperative for us to have those baby doll eyes. It's imperative, like it just has to happen. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You gotta have it. So, while I let that kind of set, we'll go ahead and spray. And we really want to highlight, so I'm going to continue to use the highlight that I've been obsessed with all month. This is the J-Cat Beauty. This is the Bait highlight in Crystal Sands. And we are really going to highlight ourselves, and we're also going to overline our lips. You could also add faux freckles as well if you wanted to. I'm gonna skip that step and go ahead and add I'm gonna use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk.
I don't deny there's some strange
Yes, a beads.
but mankind
Also, if you did like a more, I'm not gonna say normal, but natural eye, you could very well just do the winged liner, which is also very popular on Barbie dolls, but you know me, I need to go above and I need to be the absolute always do the absolute most. Always. But do you see just how that opens up the eyes like a doll? That is the point, my friends. That is the point. Also, I was looking, I used to have a pack of individual lashes. Couldn't find them anywhere. But if you didn't have as long lashes as like I do, you could definitely put some individual lashes on your lower lash line just to help like lengthen them like a doll. You should already know what lashes we are about to use. You should already know. We are using the DY Silk 006 lashes. They are gonna be perfect for this, but we do wanna wait on our mascara to dry. So while we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips. And for our lips, we will be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Pink Punch. Very Barbie. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these lashes. I'm super duper excited. Okay guys, and here we have a Malibu Barbie. I hope you guys did enjoy this little tutorial and that you are excited for Morgan Shaylloween, because I am super pumped about it. And I'm super excited for what recommendations you guys let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know anything that you want to see. I'm down to do whatever. And until next time, you guys,